They've graduated from college, they're debt-free, and they use Schools First more than I do. The credit union really helped me gain momentum in terms of my finances. I was able to refinance 2 properties with Schools First, lower the interest rate. Since then, I've been able to purchase a car. So all of my loans are with Schools First. The car loan, the teacher loan, the computer loan, all of the above. The Summer Saver has been great. I used it to pay off debt initially, and now I'm using it for vacation funds because I want to travel and do more with the adult children before they leave me.
Life happens. Life throws us challenges or curveballs to say, what are you going to do at this point? When I first met Dr. Hoyle, she had some challenges that she was going through. And she said, this happened, yes, I admit it. There's no hiding it. But again, I'm looking towards the future.
And I checked the other day, and I'm now at 829. So my credit score has gone up over 200 points since I've joined the credit union.
We always look to see how and what we can do for each individual member. And every membership is different. Everyone's history is a little different. When it comes to Dr. Hoyle, her other institutions told her no, that the challenges you had were too big. When you come to the credit union, and in this case, when she sat with me, she told me a story that I believed in.
So Schools First has changed my life. At a time when I was at my lowest point, they really came through for me. Schools First really literally changed my life. I would say that I feel as though I'm thriving. I am. Not just surviving, but thriving.
Hi, I'm Anna, and I'm from Long Beach, and I've been a member of Schools First for about 12 years. They just seem to have a good reputation, and when I was ready to switch financial institutions, that was where I went. So when Elliot was 12, I was really interested in getting him started with the Youth Saver program.
My mom, she got me started with finances at a very young age, around 12.
I would tell him, when you save money, it gives you time to do things that you really would like to do.
I started asking my own motherly questions of where things should go and how things should be. That's where Schools First came in.
Schools First, I trust them so much, and I'm so really comfortable. It's just such a respectful environment when you call or when you go into the branch.
Schools First representative was the individual who helped me, and a lot of help he gave.
He came in, we talked about the different options he had available here at Schools First. He was ecstatic about it. Just the fact that he is not only taking advantage of his financial future, but he's also taking advantage of enjoying life.
I'm always gonna go back and look forward to that, talking to Martine. And I know I can always go to Schools First and that they'll be very receptive and engaging with me. I find that I am now able to go to Japan. It was a goal that I had set, and I set it up, and then money just started piling up in there, and it was like, hey, this is looking better and better. It got to where I reached my financial benchmark, and I was just like, now it's time. Here that day is. In the next coming days, I was already booking hostels, all the hostels I'm gonna stay at.
It's just like a nice reciprocal relationship that exists between he and I, and then between he and I and Schools First.
I'm not gonna just stop at Japan with my financial goals. I can save up to a certain amount so that I'll be more financially comfortable to take care of people close to me in my life, such as my mom.
For me, to know that he's with a sound financial institution, it's such a relief. And it's a joy, I'm just so happy that he's doing well.
I became a teacher because I knew I could make a difference. I always felt that it was a calling, that I wanted to be involved with music, and I try to help push my students artistically and push them through life to be better than they thought they could be. So I was gonna create something that everybody could be a part of, and no matter what, we're gonna find a place for you. I met Schools First on one of the worst chapters of my life. It was right after the recession. The state just announced that they're gonna be laying off most of the teachers. I was with another bank to buy a house, and everything flipped upside down and was sinking. I found myself in a short sale with horrible credit. To make matters worse, I received a pink slip notice that I was going to lose my job. So there was a lady handing out cookies from Schools First, and she said we could set up this account for free. It's for a summer saver. We're going to actually help you earn money. So I set it up, and then life started working itself out. I immediately had the pink slip revoked and was able to keep my job, and quickly I became financially solvent. The first thing I was able to do was pay off my college debt and had my doctorate paid for. I bought a used car, paid it off. I reestablished my credit, bought my home, put solar panels on it, and I owe it all to Schools First. They made everything make sense. To me, I'm just a teacher, but to them, I really am a valued member of their community. And when I walk into a branch, they know who I am before I even know who they are. I'm not just some long digit number, I'm Brian. I love the kids in my classroom, and I feel like the people at Schools First love me. They want to see me be successful. At the end of the day, Schools First gives me peace of mind. I'm not worried, and if I'm not worried, I can use my full brain power to live my life to the fullest happiness and potential. In turn, I can give that back to my students.
I'm Sherry Stone. I live in Oak Hills, California. I work at Mission Crest Elementary. Well, I have a daughter, Lindsay, who's 25, and a son, Jacob, who's 20.
My mom is my rock. She's my best friend. She's always been there for me. I have a daughter, Emma. She's a little over a year and a half. I want to spend all my time with her. She's just so important to me. Earlier this year, it was really hard being a single mom on top of having to worry about my daughter and my job and everything. It was just a lot. And I got into some credit card debt. I just felt like I was drowning. I asked my mom for help, and she brought me into Schools First, and it really changed my life.
My daughter got into some financial debt, and Jen was able to help us.
She told me a story that helped me relate to her so I didn't feel so alone.
She was, struggling, and I knew that we could find a solution for her. I myself had the same financial struggles years before, and so I wanted to let her know that she wasn't alone and that, there is a way out.
It was just a really big, life-changing moment for me.
Walking out of there, seeing my daughter smiling, happy. I'm so grateful.
We just really have a really special bond, me and my family, especially now going through this together with Schools First. And Schools First feels like a family too.
It's like a whole new day. Everything seems clearer, just looking forward to what the future brings.
I want to use green. I want to use green.
When I met Vincent, he had this in him that he wanted to do something spectacular in his life. As he was seeing these kids not be able to express themselves, he realized that he needed to be a teacher. We met here in Huntington Beach. I've actually been with Schools First since 1993. We got married in 1997. I think it was in San Diego was the first time that we found ourselves in kind of a tough financial situation. Financially, there was not a lot of money. We needed to consolidate all these debts we had into, I think it was a personal loan. Schools First really worked with us, like no problem.
Teachers know that they don't always have the funds to just go out and buy their toy supplies that they need
Let's give it up for Sock Monkey. Okay, so I don't know if I have all the names correct, but I'm gonna try my best. Renee Burgess on drums. Yeah? Renee on drums. Bruce English on bass and vocals. All right, good job. Ralph Navarro on guitar and vocals. Senior. And then we have Ralph Jr. on vocals. All right, muy bien. Thank you. That's about, I've been watching you. Is he leaving the band to go grab the food? Okay, we're gonna start our program now. My name is Enrique Murillo. I'm the director of the Doctoral Studies program here on campus. We want to welcome you. Let's give a round of applause for ourselves. Thank you. Okay, so before anything, we want to acknowledge the indigenous peoples of the land, right? We acknowledge that we benefit from the indigenous peoples, right? And in a perfect world, what would we do? Give the land back, right? But short of giving the land back, what do? We acknowledge that we benefit from being on this land, right? Okay, so we want to give proper recognition to the Serrano, the Cahuilla, Cupeño, Tungva, Tataviam, Chumash, Kumeyaay, and others from Southern California. Okay, let me see what Alejandro says. Hold on. Yeah, switch mics. Okay, can you guys hear? Hello, hello, hello. Mic check, 1, 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, what if I talk loud enough? I talk pretty loud. Yes? Okay, let's do a 1 minute break. 1 minute break, how's that? I'll come back in 1 minute. Edit the tape. Yes. We'll edit the tape. Two. Ahora sí. So yeah, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. It goes in, keeps going in and out, in and out.
I had been staying with a friend, and it was not a very good atmosphere. Packed up my car grabbed my boys, and we took off. I was basically homeless.
I had a truck that was, the engine was going to go out. You know, if you decide you like your truck, I mean, you got to spend $5,000, $8,000 for a brand new engine. And since I was retired, I didn't know what to do about replacing the vehicle.
I had an incident in my life, a divorce, which caused my credit score to stumble. Not very many credit unions wanted to give me an opportunity to refinance my home and also to get a loan on my car.
In terms of going to look at houses, really liking a house, putting an offer on the house, and then not getting accepted, it was so disheartening and very, very stressful.
I felt like I hit rock bottom. Got a couple of phone calls from a few of my girlfriends. They gave me some of the local options for shelters and things of that nature, which they wouldn't take me because I go to school and lights out are at 9 o'clock and I didn't get out till 10. So I didn't know where to go. I had no family to turn to. I took my boys and we went over to our credit union. Kristen just told me, you know what, Lacey, everything's gonna be okay. We got you, you know. So we sat down, we basically came up with a game plan to make sure that you guys are stable, that you have a place to go. Had a couple more phone calls and I was able to sign a lease just a matter of days later. And I was able to move in. We were together and we were happy. I aspire to be one of the best special education teachers on this planet. I feel vindicated. I feel like I'm able to tell anybody and everybody my story.
What happened, I had a truck. The engine was going to go out. And since I was retired, I didn't know exactly what I would do because the income that I didn't have for buy a new vehicle. I happened to go into the bank and there's a gentleman called George Medina. We sat down and we talked about it. And he goes, Mr. Cota, we could help you with a truck. On this loan that I've got, I never thought that it would benefit me in this way. I am saving money, paying my truck off, and at the end of the year, I get $600 put away. Where else can I do that?
One of my colleagues referred me to Schools First. You know, she had gone through some financial challenges as well. And she goes, they'll help you. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I've heard that before. She was the one actually that drove me to the branch. I was forced to go inside. And that's where that relationship actually began. My entire life, I've had A1 credit, 800 score. They were able to see on the computer screen that there was a red area, a flagged area that was the area in which I had some transition in my life. And they were able to provide me with a loan based on my previous history, and also they took a chance on me. Through the refinance, I was able to send money to my children in college. Schools First released a financial burden for me. They were brought into my life at a time when I really needed that financial rescue, and they've been amazing. They have been amazing.
We're living with my parents, and so there's 3 of us in 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom of my parents' house. So we had about a grand 700 square feet for our whole family. And we thought, well, we'll look for a house now. We have 20% down, let's get pre-approved. Looking for a house and putting in offers and getting an offer accepted ended up taking about 2 years. They kept extending our loan pre-approval longer than that 3-month period. They let us go 5, 6, 7 months before they said, okay, it's time that we get you a new loan pre-approval. And so I think that that really saved our credit during that time period where we were looking out for a house, and it just made a huge difference. They would call us every 3 to 5 days. This is how it's going. Do you have any questions? The next step is this. And they just kept in touch so well with us. And they knew that we were first-time home buyers, and they know the stress that comes with being a first-time home buyer, and they're sensitive to that. I know that it was the first time we bought a home, but it wasn't a first-time home for us, it was a forever home.
You guys are sincere, you're genuine, you're caring. You're just an amazing group of people. I really appreciate everything that you've done for me and for my family and for my children.
You don't know what a pleasure it is when I call you and you greet me, you help me. Without you, I don't know where I'd be. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
To help me know that I'm worth it and to keep fighting. My children and I will never forget you.
Thank you so much for being a huge part of my story.
I had been staying with a friend, and it was not a very good atmosphere. Packed up my car, grabbed my boys, and we took off. I was basically homeless.
I had a truck that was, the engine was going to go out. You know, if you decide you like your truck, I mean, you got to spend $5,000, $8,000 for a brand new engine. And since I was retired, I didn't know what to do about replacing the vehicle.
I had an incident in my life, a divorce, which caused my credit score to stumble. Not very many credit unions wanted to give me an opportunity to refinance my home and also to get a loan on my car.
In terms of going to look at houses, really liking a house, putting an offer on the house, and then not getting accepted, it was so disheartening and very, very stressful.
I felt like I hit rock bottom. Got a couple of phone calls from a few of my girlfriends. They gave me some of the local options for shelters and things of that nature, which they wouldn't take me because I go to school and lights out are at 9 o'clock and I didn't get out till 10. So I didn't know where to go. I had no family to turn to. I took my boys and we went over to our credit union. Kristen just told me, you know what, Lacey, everything's gonna be okay. We got you, you know. So we sat down, we basically came up with a game plan to make sure that you guys are stable, that you have a place to go. Had a couple more phone calls and I was able to sign a lease just a matter of days later. And I was able to move in. We were together and we were happy. I aspire to be one of the best special education teachers on this planet. I feel vindicated. I feel like I'm able to tell anybody and everybody my story.
What happened, I had a truck. The engine was going to go out. And since I was retired, I didn't know exactly what I would do because the income that I didn't have for buy a new vehicle. I happened to go into the bank and there's a gentleman.
She was one of the original architects of the program at the state level. So yeah, so thanks to her, we have some historical memory, and thanks to her, we've been able to rebuild this program. I've been here for about 3 years now. Dr. Escalante just came on this year, although she did part of it through the homes. We have what we call our dream team, right? So these people were picked. So we have Dr. Stacy Ortiz, who's here. Okay. She's our program specialist. There you can see. Okay. This time last year she was only Stacy. Now she's Dr. Ortiz. Okay? Now she's Dr. Ortiz. Then we have Candace Sykes, our newest addition. There's Candace. She's our support coordinator, but she's more than that, but that's the official administrative support coordinator. So we work together as a team. We call ourselves the Dream Team, okay? And we are in the middle of project, what do we call our project? Renovate, we're like renovating the whole thing. Oh, rebirth, we're in Project Rebirth, okay? So we're rebirthing. We've been rebirthing for the last 3 years, okay? And it's a lot of birth, but a lot of things have helped us. Okay, helping us today, I want to acknowledge these folks. Okay, we have the folks from Southwest Montreal Student Union who are right here trying to figure out the technical stuff. So let's give it up for them. Manny and Sabrina, thank you. We have the folks from our technical, our ATI, Is it still ATI? You have like 3, see, I'm like 3 years behind. Multimedia. Okay, thank you. They keep changing the names. I still say Stratcom. I still say, I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Is it working now? Okay, well, let me finish this part and then we'll switch over. Thank you. Thank you, you all. Okay. We want to thank Delphine Galva Bright, who's been helping us today. Delphine. Thank you, Delphine. Okay. Alejandro Barajas Ramos. Right there. Thank you, Alejandro. Okay. So our team will come back, but I'm going to ask our esteemed provost if you could give your remarks. We're going to try it up there from the podium. You'll be our tester. Some people think the president has the power. The provost has the power. You want anything done in this campus, it's the provost. And he joined the university in 2015. First, he served as the dean of the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences, which is home to 10 academic departments and schools. It's right. Is it the largest college on our campus?
Back and forth between CNS and SBS. Yes.
Okay, very good. So his previous positions include he was chair of the Department of Sociology at the University of San Diego, the chair of the Department of Social Sciences at Clayton State University in Georgia. He got his bachelor's degree in sociology and criminal justice from George Washington University. He has his master's in social ecology. He's got a PhD in criminology, law, and society from UC Irvine. Okay, so let's give it up for Rafi.
Thank you, Enrique. I got something for you. I just pulled up for you. Give me a second here. Someone over there shouted out AOL, so I couldn't resist. I was going to pull up You've Got Mail, but didn't. Anyway, I digress. Good afternoon to everybody, but a special welcome home to our doctoral program alumni. Thank you for coming back to CSUSB, and thank you for joining us here this afternoon. I do hope you're going to stick around for our homecoming event. I jokingly, well, I wasn't joking. I was talking about the beer garden as one of the attractions. But if that's not your thing, there will be live music and activities and good stuff like that to participate in. I've said this. I'm not just saying this because Robert Nava's here and he's coming up behind me, but I've attended lots of different homecoming events over the course of my career and over the course of being a student. Ours is with one exception. This is the exception I always throw out there. Howard University has an incredible homecoming. I never went to Howard, but I spent a lot of time at Howard. And so, but our homecoming next to Howard's is the best one I've ever been to. So I do hope you all stick around and attend our homecoming event this evening. I also just want to thank you all, our alumni, for remaining connected to CSUSB. I think about myself as a college student and as a graduate. And I only very recently got re-engaged with one of my alma maters. And that was, I forgot why. I think it's because I was proud of what they were doing, but also it's because of the faculty who were there that touched me and made me want to re-engage. But I do think that, it says a lot that those of you in here who are alumni have made it a point to kind of continue to be connected to CSUSB because I think that I know that there's a lot of great things that have been going on this campus over the years, and I hope you are proud of all that the campus has done and become in the time since you earned your doctoral degree. And for those of you who are still working on your doctoral degree, well, Jessica, I know you just defended successfully yesterday, so kudos to you. I don't know if you all are familiar, but we are now a Carnegie recognized or designated Research 2 institution. And what that means is it's kind of a big deal, right? It's a hard, I think we're, yeah. I don't remember how many there are in the CSU, Robert, but 6 of the 23 campuses in the CSU have an R2 designation. So it's not something that comes easy. And it's you earn that designation by doing 2 things well. By attracting research-related grants and spending on research. But the other critical component, and this is why I'm mentioning it in this room, is the conferral of doctoral degrees. You have to have both. And the only program we have on this campus that meets the criteria for R2 is our doctoral program from the Watson College of Education. Yes. So without y'all successfully navigating that program and without the College of Education, we would not have that designation. And I know Dean Damuchuku, and he often attends meetings where we talk about our strategic priorities and these initiatives and things like that. So much of those things are undergraduate facing. And the Watson College doesn't have a large undergraduate presence. So sometimes it's, people kind of think, oh, well, it's just the College of Education. But we wouldn't be where we are as an institution if it was not for the College of Education, reputationally or otherwise. But more importantly, we wouldn't be able to have the impact as an institution in the larger community that we do have if it wasn't for our graduates from the College of Education. Both the credential students, doctoral students, master students, all of them, because all of you are out there in the communities as teachers, as principals, as counselors, as directors, as ambassadors for CSUSB. But you are the ones who are really helping us shape the next generation of folks in the Inland Empire. So I really do appreciate all that you do. I'd be remiss, speaking of all that you do, if I did not mention that individuals out there certainly do a lot to make us look good too. Both superintendents in the IE are alumni of CSUSB, which is kind of cool, right? But also this year's Principal of the Year, Dr. Erica Tejeda, who will be chatting with y'all later on. Out of more than 4,000 principals, is an alumna of CSUSB. So thanks for making us look good. Yeah. I'd also, before I go on and make my ask, I'm about to ask y'all for money. No, I'm not. That's Robert's job. He's coming up after me. But I'd like to acknowledge just other folks. I'd like to acknowledge our faculty. Who are just world class. Sorry, Sam Sudhakar, if you're back from India, he has a trademark on world class, but I don't see him in the room, so I'm using it today. But our faculty are world class, our staff are world class. We have incredible students, we have incredible community advisory board members, and on and on. So I just want to thank everybody else who has been a supporter of this program. And I also would be remiss if I didn't give a special shout out to Schools First. For their support. Before I came out here, before I moved back to California to take the dean position here, I had no idea what Schools First was, and I met them during my onboarding, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have my car, I wouldn't have my house, because I financed my house through them and everything. Just incredible people to work with, and I really do appreciate, I'm not just pandering, I really do appreciate working with them and try to whenever I can for my financial needs. So if you're not a member of Schools First, all right, there we go. I'm sure you all have seen some of the changes on our campus. For our alumni, if you haven't been back in a while, since I've been here 8 years, and there's all kinds of new stuff on our campus that makes me excited. If you came in the main entrance, you saw a big construction site up there. That's our new $127 million, 73,000 square foot performing arts center that's set to open next year. So that's going to be pretty incredible. If you traveled over to the Watson College, you saw the big Eternal Learning mural that's out there. There was a wonderful dedication ceremony a little while ago, dedicating that mural and also commemorating the $8 million gift that Jim and Judy Watson gave to the College of Education to invest in all of the great work that you all do and invest in our community. I'm sure the library is open today, so take a trip through the library. The first floor is this whole completely reimagined space, courtesy of a flood, because we got some insurance money, but also Dean Rebecca Lubas, whose vision it was to really make that a more interactive space and student oriented space and part of our student success apparatus. So lots of cool things going on our campus, lots of things to be excited for. I could brag about CSUSB all day, but I'm going to stop because we've already had a technical delay, and Robert is staring at me like, "Come on, man, I got places to be." So, but I do want to get to this, which is aside from welcoming you all back, and aside from celebrating all that we've accomplished as a campus and that you've accomplished in the community, the real reason I'm here was because I was asked to by the president, but then also. The real reason I'm here is because I wanted to ask for your help. We need more members of our community, and particularly our young people, to go on to earn 4-year degrees. As you're probably aware, the Inland Empire lags significantly behind both the state and our neighboring counties in college degree attainment. California is a very well-educated state, relatively speaking. 34% of all adults in California have a 4-year degree. You look at neighboring counties, Ventura's 34%, LA's 33%, Orange County's 41%, San Diego's 39%. And then you get to Riverside at 22% and San Bernardino at 21%. I want us to do better. I think we all know the tangible benefits of 4-year degrees. There is greater economic mobility. There's more tax revenue coming into the region to support critical functions. There is less strain on social services when you have a higher rate of degree attainment. There's an overall better quality of life, longer life expectancy. I could go on and on and on. So it's for the betterment of our community that we really push more of our young people to continue on after high school to earn their 4-year degrees. And so that's why I'm talking to you about it, because we can't do it without our educational partners. We can't do it without K through 12. We can't do it without our community college partners. We can't do it without all of the alumni from the Watson College of Education who are out there working on a daily basis with these young folks. So my ask of you is to donate to the Dean's Excellence Fund. No, just kidding about that too. No, my ask is really just to spread the word. I mean, there's a lot of negativity about 4-year degree attainment right now. There are lots of folks who are saying you don't need a 4-year degree. We just partnered with GIA, Growing Inland Achievement, to assess attitudes toward college going. And we got a great report from them, which we're happy to share with anybody in this room if you want it. But one of the things they talked about were kind of community and family thoughts about 4-year degrees. So you might have a young person who's thinking they're going to go to college, but you also have people who are like, hey, we need you to work right away. Or, hey, a 4-year degree is not really worth it. It is. It absolutely is worth it. So we need you to help spread that word. And we also need to help you dispel one of the other myths about about not getting your 4-year degree, which is the cost. For many people in the Inland Empire, going to any CSU or UC is virtually free. If your family makes something like roughly less than $75,000 a year, you're paying nothing to go to CSUSB. But people think that college is expensive because college can be expensive. So help us, if you don't mind, dispel those rumors and get more of our young people to go to college, because it really is important, not just to them and their families, but also to the region. The last thing I'll say, since he gave me such a warm introduction, I'd also like to shout out Dr. Enrique Murillo and his prestigious appointment to the President's Advisory Commission on Advancing Educational Equity, Excellence, and Economic Opportunity for Hispanics. It, given all that you do, Enrique, it wasn't a surprise, but it was still a badge of honor. I know for you, but also for our institution. So shout out on that, and shout out on LEAD, which you oversaw earlier this year. It was a great event. So anyway, I'm well over my time. So goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Mohammed. It's now my pleasure to introduce and bring forward the Dean of the Watson College of Education, Dr. Chinyaka Damwachukwu. Dr. Chinyaka Damwachukwu joined our college in June of 2019 as the Dean of the College of Education, which we know has now been renamed the James R. Watson and Judy Rodriguez Watson College of Education. Please welcome Chinyaka.
Good afternoon and welcome to our third annual doctoral alumni mixer. We began this about 3 years ago because we saw the need to re-engage with our alumni who finished our program and are making great differences in the community. As was mentioned by the provost, we have many of you out there, both in the doctoral program, doctoral graduates, credential graduates, master's graduates, who are across the Inland Empire making significant differences. So I want to say it's indeed a privilege to have you here again this afternoon. I want to give a shout out to Enrique, and to Karen, and to Sharon, and to Candice and Stacy. This is a world-class team that is doing an excellent job. And all the people in ELT that support you, I know that's what you're looking for. So we have such a group of dedicated individuals who want to see you succeed, and we are happy that this program is moving in the direction that it is moving. The doctoral program is positioned to grow larger. As the provost mentioned, it is through the hard work of this team that we were able to graduate sufficient number of doctorates to earn our R2 Research 2 designation. But it's one thing to earn it, it's another thing to retain it. For us to retain it, we need your support. We need you to send students our way, your colleagues out there in the field. In order to retain it, we need to graduate 20 doctorates each year. For us to graduate 20 doctorates each year, we need to admit at least 30 each year. That way, there are those who drop out along the way, and there are those who take longer to finish. That way, we can still keep that number. So I want you to be our messengers, our ambassadors out there, helping your colleagues to come to CSUSB, get quality education, and also get an education that is not as costly as going somewhere else. So that's my first ask of you this afternoon. The college is doing well in many ways. The provost talked about our community engagement. This college is making strong impact across the San Bernardino and Riverside counties in different areas. There is no school site that does not have one of our alumni. working as classroom teachers, school site psychologists, counselors, as well as school site administrators. He mentioned the two superintendents of public instruction, Ted Alhendra and Edwin Gomez in Riverside, all both graduates of this college. We have the superintendent's offices filled with individuals who come from this doctorate program. You might be interested to know that last year, during the last academic year, we placed 1,301 candidates in early field work and student teaching across 50 school districts in the area and 385 school sites. San Bernardino City Unified School District happens to be one of the places we place the highest number of students. So that's to say to you how engaged we are with the community in which we are situated. With San Bernardino City alone having more than 200 students placed in them. During the same academic year, we credentialed 39 school site administrators, principals. Yes, thank you. The state at large is in high demand of school site administrators. And I want to give a shout out to Carmen Beck, Dr. Carmen Beck, Dr. Susan Jindra, Dr. Sue Kaiser. They are not sitting on their laurel. They are continuing to advance. In fact, I was just talking with my friend and colleague that, San Bernardino City, they're already exploring a cohort to train administrators with them. And I mention it for those of you who are plugged with other school districts. We're willing to come and train your administrators. If you pull them together, we build a cohort for them to make sure that the needs are met. That same year, we credentialed 44 special education teachers, 13 career technical education teachers, CTE. This is a field that many of you don't know how much in need there is there. 36 school counseling PPS credentials, 28 school psychologists, 201 single subject teachers, 199 multiple subject teachers in last academic year. So I share this with you so you know the scope of our impact in this region. And we want you to continue to be part of what we do. I know you would like to know the doctoral program. We had 18 that finished their doctorate last year. We were hoping it would be 20, but it was 18. And this cohort of fall 2023 has started with 23 candidates. All right. So we are hoping that nobody drops and that we all walk through and get to the finishing line. So we are proud of what is going on in this college and the impact the college is making in our region. But we're also particularly proud about the impact you are making in your various areas of engagement. I want to call out Dr. Erica Tejeda, that has been mentioned already. She represents the face of what we do, honoring the principal of the year for California. And I also have to give a shout out to many others, but particularly some of our recent graduates who are making impacts across this region. We have our May all the home scholars, old and new, please rise. The home scholars. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. What the home scholars are doing is giving us a national face. So this program is the first in the whole 23 CSU campuses to launch the Home Scholars Program, which is a program that is led by the American Association of Colleges of Teacher Education. And the goal is to engage our doctoral students with other doctoral candidates across the nation so they can share research and have more meaningful impact. They go to national conferences to present, and so they make us proud. So let's give them another round of applause. There's a whole lot of things happening that I would not want to speak as long as the provost. But before I sit down, let me invite you to some important things happening in our college. Next month, on November 16, we are going to be hosting our third annual Educational Leadership Summit. This is a premier educational event for this region, and we invite all the educational leaders in the region. In fact, this year, this program, we began to engage the community in a bigger way. We planned this year's summit in collaboration with district leaders. So we formed an advisory board made up of district superintendents and assistant superintendents who are working with us to launch it this year. And part of what we're going to do is engage with issues that are important to them. Some of the theme of the conference this year is innovative practices in education. So you're going to hear keynote on innovative practices in technology from Microsoft representative. You're going to hear about innovative practices in STEM education. And we're going to have K-12 students here demonstrating different innovative activities that are going on in their school sites. You're going to hear about innovative practices in parental engagement. The principals and school superintendents actually said we need to hear from parents. What are best practices for parental engagement? And we were lucky to connect with a national organization that works with parents. And they're bringing a team of 4 or 5 people here to engage and lead this conversation. Another thing that will feature is innovative practices in teacher recruitment. I don't know if you guys are aware, and the principals are here are shaking their heads. California is in dire need of teachers. And we here at CSUSB are using multi-pronged approach to provide teachers for this region. And one of them is what we call Project Impact, a minority male pipeline program. This is a program that is aimed at recruiting African American and Hispanic men into the teaching profession. And this year, we are going to be bringing in 2 Native American students into the program. So we are in our 5th cohort, and we have more than 60 men who have either gone or are still in the program. All right? And one of the presentations will be from the Rialto Project Impact team, because Rialto launched their own Grow Your Own male program. So I want to ask you to come to this conference and bring your friends. Once again, thank you for being here. And thanks to Enrique and the team, and thanks to the provost for honoring us with his presence. And Robert, thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, we forgot to do something earlier when I was introducing our dream team. Here we go. There's no dream team? Okay, this is supposed to be playing when I was introducing the folks who are our dream team. Okay, since this is the bragging. That's okay, it didn't work. The timing was wrong. We don't. It's okay, next time. Next time. Okay. Here's our chance to brag a little bit. Okay? The provost be bragging. The dean be bragging. Now we got to be bragging. Okay. Let me throw a little numbers out there. Okay. Going back to the research designation, R2, okay? So it started off, I don't know, my man voice, okay. After ranking 3,900 universities and colleges, both public and private, right? 3,900. Is it doing it again? Okay, let's just talk like this. Okay, after ranking 3,900 universities and colleges, public and private, right? We were designated R2. There's only 134 out of 3,900 universities. Only 134 have our designation. So we're one of 134. That places us in the top 7% of colleges and universities in the nation. We're also an HSI, Hispanic Serving Institution. Okay? So of those 3,900 universities and colleges that were ranked nationally by Carnegie, right? Only 16% of those are HSIs. Long story short, that puts us in the top 8% of Hispanic serving institutions in the United States. So we're in the top 8%. So next time we go to Haku, next time we go to Ahi, next time we go to wherever, you gotta let them know we're in the top 8% of HSIs in the United States. All right, so that's us. Okay.
Thank you. And we'll see if this mic works for a moment. A few of our high impact practices that we use in the doctoral program. We have full day program orientation. My cohort 17 friends, you got to experience that this summer. We have get finished writing workshops held weekly. We have a qualifying exam seminar, and my cohort 16 friends got to experience that the other day. We have dissertation seminars. We have, there it goes, individual advising sessions with the co-directors during the first year. We have group advising sessions. We have field work courses. We have annual town hall meetings. And we have meet the faculty events. So we do have a few faculty here today. So my cohort 17 friends, I'm going to make sure I point out some faculty members. Dr. J was here, and now I don't, he left. Dr. J is here, but he's retiring, so he's not available anymore. So he's counting the days, but wonderful chair. Dr. Golge is here, and she's a brand new core faculty member. Golge, will you just so our newest cohort can see you, a fabulous faculty member. We have Dr. Ajayi and Dr. Torres here as well. So we have got and the lovely Dr. Carmen Beck as well, a wonderful core faculty member. So my newest cohort, we have community partners. Dr. Romano, thank you. Thank you. You weren't in my line of vision there. Thank you. Thank you. So for my newest cohort friends, those are some faculty members. Strengths.
Okay, thank you. So, I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay, so here's what's new for those of you older cohorts. You may or may not realize all the changes we've made, okay? So we've maintained the cohort system, but now the classes are every other weekend. Right? You all had to come on Tuesday nights, right? You had to come on, was it Tuesday nights? You had to come every Tuesday. And okay, so now it's every other weekend. Okay? We've maintained and even accelerated our program, 3-year completion schedule. Okay? We have renowned faculty and fellows, something we started. We have community fellows. So not just faculty, but you all also can work with community fellows. So raise your hand if you're a community fellow. There you go. There you go. So we have community fellows. Thank you. All right. So one of the things is we have a community advisory board. We as was mentioned, we're R2, right? Long story short, we have membership in national networks, and we expose students to these national membership networks. So anyways, I think we're doing a good job. Let's have a round of applause for us.
And I see Dr. Nava over here pacing. He's waiting to get up here. And in just a moment, my absolute dearest part of being in the doctoral program is the home scholar program. So 3 years ago, Dr. Damochuku tried to steal my thunder there for a moment by tapping into the home scholars program. 3 years ago, I talked to Enrique and Sharon, and I said, what do we think about bringing the Home Scholars Program to San Bernardino? And we talked, and we filled out an application, and our school was accepted. And as our dean noted, we are the first CSU to have the Home Scholar Program. Cal State Fresno has now applied. They don't have any scholars yet. University of San Diego has applied. They don't have any scholars yet. So we currently are the only active university college, four-year college in California with home scholars. So what are home scholars? Racially, ethnically diverse students in a doctoral program. And so the Home Scholar Program, it's a national program through AACTE, as our dean noted, and it provides access, mentoring, support to allow our doctoral students to have networking, mentoring, access to opportunities. So Rayanne Warren is one of our newest home scholars. Rayanne, if you'd like to stand. Pablo Gutierrez is also one of our newest home scholars. He's not here today. And then from last year, so we currently have 5 scholars. Last year we welcomed Audrey Milan and Sailesh Mahajan. I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name correctly. Previous year, our inaugural year, we welcomed Angela Agudo, who is at Haku with our president right now, and Rangel Zarate. Rangel, so I just want to acknowledge that our home scholars have presented at conferences. They've been to New Orleans. They've been to California Council on Teacher Education in San Diego. They've made networking connections. They've been to Washington, D.C. twice. They've met with Senator Padilla's office, Senator Feinstein's office, may she rest in peace, Senator Tacano's office, Senator Aguilar's office. The home scholars have made requests in education on your behalf for the state of California, for the CSU system, and for CSUSB. I do not talk. I introduce myself. The home scholars, they advocate on your behalf. They have their asks. Help for single mothers, mental health in education, help for students of color, students that need supports for special educational needs. The home scholars, they practice their asks and their speeches, and they do that on behalf of all of you, on behalf of every teacher in the state of California, on behalf of every administrator, on behalf of every TK through 12 student and higher education student in the state of California. I want you to recognize the work that they are doing. They are the only students from the CSU system doing this in the state of California. So I just want you to recognize how amazing they are. I don't do any of the talking other than, hi, here we are. So they are fantastic, and I am so grateful to have them in my life. So thank you, home scholars. Dr. Nava, thank you for waiting so I could say those things. I appreciate it. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nava, Vice President of Advancement and Executive Director for CSUSB Philanthropic Foundation. You're not even going to let me finish. He's like provost. He's like, how long until I get out of here? May I read, or are you just like, okay. CSUSB Vice President Nava has spent 38 plus years in higher education advancement leadership roles, including 8 years in the Inland Region Empire prior to now. He most recently served as Vice President for University Advancement of San Francisco State University. I've got several friends there. And before that, the University of Texas, El Paso. He also enjoyed a long and distinguished tenure at UC Riverside, one of our friends. Nava holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, a lot of criminal law degrees. What's with this? Is that the ticket to... From UTEP, a law degree from Western State University of Law, Western University College of Law, and a member of the Harvard Graduate School of Education's Institute of Management and Leadership in Education. He's a member of the Association of Fundraising Professionals and a certified fundraising executive. Enrique writes a lot of stuff, I'm sorry. He was one of the co-founders of the Latino Network in Riverside, a volunteer for the Chicano Latino Youth Board Project, and has also served many years on the Puentes Project Advisory Board. Please welcome Dr. Robert Nava.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Escalante. I'm going to be very brief, colleagues. Part of the message, and truly, I know I'm going to be brief because my colega, Dr. Monica Alejandre, cohort 21, cohort 12, 2021 was the year, correct. She'll give me the hook if I go too late, okay, or too long. I also see our president, Dr. Tomas Morales. President Morales. You know, colleagues, I just very briefly just want to share what an incredible time it is for our university. You know, as the provost mentioned and the dean, the impact that our university is having not only in the inland region, but throughout the state of California and nationally. The impact of our alumni are changing lives every day. You know, we were recognizing Ted Alejandre and his leadership for San Bernardino County, right? Edwin Gomez in Riverside County, superintendent. But also I wanted to recognize Judy White and all the impact that Judy White has had. But as the dean said, we go into any school district, any community organization, state offices, federal offices, and we see our alumni doing great things. The work that each of you are doing, you're transforming education in this region. You're inspiring, you know, that next generation of young men and young women when they see, you know, la doctora or the doctor in that educational leadership class, they could say, wow, I can do that. I can do that also. So we thank you for that. I was also thinking about the impact that we're having out in the Coachella Valley. Think about that, you know, at our Palm Desert campus. How important the educational attainment, the opportunities to provide that access to those students and the families in the Coachella Valley. We, Cal State San Bernardino, Coyotes, we're transforming lives every day. One note I did want to share about our provost and also in our president, the dean and our faculty, you know, the work and leadership that they do is always grounded on student success. You know, it's one item to provide access to higher education as we do. Access and affordability, we do that. But without retaining the students and graduating those students, then something is missing, right? So this institution, your alma mater, is focused on the recruitment, the retention, and preparing our graduates to go on and do great things in their lives, their professions, in graduate school, in professional school. We change lives every day. You're changing lives every day. I did want to mention about our provost also because not only is he a scholar in the work that he does on civil rights, policy, but he's also really cool too. We have a really cool provost too. And I can share with you because, last spring, our campus, your campus, we hosted the National Black Scholars. It was an incredible event. Gosh, I think we had something like 2,000 high school graduates who were graduating, going off to HBCUs, they were going off to UC, to CSU, here to Cal State San Bernardino, but the provost was the keynote speaker that day, and you could just see the students really uplift when they heard our provost speaking, part of his story and inspiring. And we see that every day with our faculty that are engaging community members, schools, and such. Quick notice about our esteemed leader, El Doctor Murillo, another super cool academic that both, shines in the classroom, his own personal research, but out in the community, the policy. I was raised in El Paso, so the word that we would use to describe someone like Enrique era el mero mero, right? There's another word I won't use in this, el mero, you know what, You know what I'm talking about, but he is. And Enrique, just the work that you do and your colleagues and the faculty and the college and the dean, transformative. On November 3rd, colleagues, I think it's Saturday, it's November 3rd or November 4th, your university is going to host Puente. So those of you that are familiar with Puente, we're going to have 1,200 Puente students, community college students, and November 4th, Saturday, we're going to have 1,200 Puente students on this campus, counselors, talking about and planning for their future. That happens on your university. We're going to host again. President Morales has said we're going to host again National Black Scholars in the spring, happening on your campus. Our engagement with the Native American communities in this region, we're engaging both in terms of outreach, recruitment, and retention of Native students happening on your campus. President Morales was asked by the chancellor of the CSU to serve as the presidential advisor to the CSU presidents on Native American initiatives. So President Morales, give it up for our president. One of the critical issues, in addition to engaging African American communities, low-income communities, but also engaging Native American sovereign nations, both on reservations and in urban areas, is critical. And that's what CSU is going to be doing, and our president's going to be leading that pace on that. Finally, this is homecoming. We're celebrating you, but we're also celebrating all of our alumni. We have over 2,000 alumni coming to campus this afternoon, and I hope if you have a chance, thanks to the support of the president and the provost, we're going to open an alumni center on campus in February. What do you think? It's almost 6,000 square feet. The Alumni Center is going to be based over where the San Manuel Student Union East is, right? Where the Obershaw dining room is, for those of you, are you familiar? That whole first floor is going to be the Alumni Center, and our alumni office will be there. The annual giving program is going to be there. But perhaps more importantly, it's going to be a space so when our alumni come back home, future alumni are coming to visit, high school students, families, there'll be a space where they will be able to go in, spend some time, think about their future, and also get reconnected to the university. And that's all happening. And the last item, February. Remember, February, 2 big events. The opening of the Alumni Center, and we're going to have the Alumni Hall of Fame, the very first Alumni Hall of Fame. And we have one of our Hall of Fame recipients, Juan Luna. Juan Luna was selected as one of each of the colleges, very competitive process, each of the colleges identified an alumni to be honored. And Juan, congratulations to you, and we'll be celebrating you and a number of our alumni in February. So with that, colegas, congratulations as we celebrate you, as we celebrate this university, and as we celebrate homecoming this year. Thank you for giving me a couple of minutes. Dr. Escalante, I'll turn it over back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Nava. It's now my pleasure to introduce Elia Guerrero, our marquee sponsor. There's Elia, thank you. For membership development, Schools First Federal Credit Union. Welcome up.
No, you guys are not going to see me here. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing great, enjoying your time, lunch, and everything like that. Thank you for having us. I am Elia from Schools First Federal Credit Union, and just allowing some time to let you know who we are. By a show of hands, do we have any members already in the room? Oh, I see a lot of hands. I'm like, thank you for your membership. We truly love our members, and we wouldn't be here without you. For the rest of you, ask your peers and be like, hey, why is it that you guys have a membership? Tell me a little bit more. Well, let me let you know a little bit of the products that we offer to our school employees. We are the largest credit union in California that tailors specifically to our school employees, that we offer a variety of products for you. I do also want to say, I don't know if you guys heard, but we were rated top on Forbes for 5 years in a row of being the best credit union. So I'm like, so that's really great right there, okay? So one of the products that we do offer is the Summer Saver. I hope those who already are a member are taking advantage of it. We are paying a annual percentage yield of a 6.5%. So yeah, I see a lot of you guys. I saw your eyes. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing. So if you're not taking advantage of that, I highly recommend for you guys, start taking advantage of that Summer Saver, because it's gonna pay you a big penny right there, okay? We also offer the school employee credit card. So with that one right there, we do offer the lowest annual percentage rate of an 11.75, and you guys get 1.5% cash back on that one as well. No balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees. We don't charge any fees for that. And then lastly, if you guys are maybe in the looking for like a home purchase, anything like that, for school employees, we are offering a 5% down, and we are waiving the PMI. So private mortgage insurance, we call that pretty much insane, okay? So that's amazing right there that we're able to waive those. So we have many products that we do offer specifically to our school employees. So I'm glad, thank you so much for allowing me some time. If you guys have any questions, me and my manager are up in the front. Any questions you guys have, we are welcome to answer any. For those who are not a member, if you guys would like to join today, it's a free membership. We have the application here today. It takes less than 2 minutes to fill this out. You will become a family member for life. Free membership, no strings attached. We aren't the jealous type, so we're not telling you to break up with your institution. Just supplement us for what your credit union or your bank is not offering you, okay? So thank you. And also, we are covering the initial deposit, so don't worry about it. We got you like on a little Starbucks or something like that, okay? Thank you guys, but we'll be outside if you guys have any questions, okay? So thank you. Enjoy your day.
Okay, let's see if this is working. Can you hear what I'm saying? Is it coming in and out, in and out? I got you. That was me. That was faking. Okay, you can hear everything I'm saying. 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. Okay, I think all right, very good. Okay, so now, a couple of things. Our marketing specialist, Aitois, is here. He's not going to speak, but he's going to go bring his camera. He's going to go bring his stuff. We want any doctoral student, any graduate of our program to stick around because he wants to capture testimonials from you, okay? So please don't leave. If you're able to, after we're done with the formalities, just a few minutes of your time if you could do that, okay? So in fact, there's Aitois right there. Raise your hand, Aitois. All right? So he's going to capture, so we'll do that. I want to say thank you again to our President Morales for being here with us. He's a busy man, so the fact that he came in just to see what's going on, we appreciate your presence. Thank you. And you weren't here earlier when I said the provost. I think is a little bit more powerful, but just erase that part where I said the provost. Everything I said about the... Okay, very good. Okay, so do you want to say something about Erica or before? Okay, we'll go.
And also, I thought you were at Haku, President Morales, so I already placed you there. So, Enrique's about to introduce our keynote speaker, and before he does that, I just want to say that Erica has become my new BFF and sister from another mister. So, just wanted to acknowledge that. And Enrique, pass it back to you.
All right. Okay, so now let's introduce Dr. Erica Tejeda, Doctorate in Educational Leadership, Cohort 9. There's other Niners here. Raise your hand if you're other 9 people. Okay, very good. Erica has been in education for over 20 years, and she's been part of the Paris Union High School District for the majority of those years. Well, a little longer, considering she graduated from Paris High School, right? She began her teaching career as a Spanish teacher at Paloma Valley High School, where she was also the activities director. She also taught Spanish at Heritage High School as well as Paris High School before becoming an administrator. She received her AA from Mount San Jacinto, transferred over here to Cal State San Bernardino. Long story short, we've already praised her about 3 or 4 times today, and we cannot praise her enough. Dr. Tejeda, did you guys see the video we did on her? If you haven't, please watch the video, and it'll make you cry. It made her family cry. It'll make you cry. Okay? She's principal of Liberty High School, and this was mentioned already, but just for context, there are more than 4,000 high schools in California, okay? So she's the principal of the year out of 4,000. And it's our, and yes, let's give her. And that prestigious selection was made by the Association of California School Administrators, ACSA. Okay, anyways, I can go on and on and on and on. AXA. Okay, I can go on and on and on. But let's just give a warm welcome to Dr. Tejeda.
I'll give you. I figured I can use my principal voice. I can do this in the gym with a lot of loud kids. Can you hear me? Okay, and I think is it? But if I give you a dirty look, it's the principal bullying me, so don't take it personal. I would like to share throughout my presentation, you will see cacti and succulents. And I want to share with you that the cacti symbolize endurance. It is a plant that can stand up to the test of time and elements. The cactus flower is a symbol of maternal love because it can thrive in harsh conditions and therefore symbolic of a mother's unconditional love. I currently have 2,436 kids at Liberty High School. Those are all my kids. I am responsible for my children, and they will always be my kids. And so I'm very blessed and honored to be here. I'm blessed and honored to be an alumna, I learned. Times have changed. At Cal State San Bernardino and HSI, a place where I found my place as a first-generation Chicana, where I found the mentorship I lacked in high school, the mentorship I lacked in junior college, and even with my bachelor's degree, but I found through the doctoral program. And the mentorship with Dr. Luke, Dr. Betters, my sister from another mister, it continues, and Dr. Beck, and it's the cohort and the relationships that build who we are moving forward. Can we click? Thank you. I don't know who's clicking, so, okay. So in order to understand where I am going, I need to acknowledge and appreciate where I have been
my journey that frames my why. And so many parts in education, especially K-12, they ask you, what is your why? What is your why? Usually your why is your paycheck, right? You get paid once a month, and you deal with what you deal with because you need a paycheck, and you eventually find your reason for what you do. And in the next couple slides, I'm going to be very transparent and honest with you as to what is my why and why I've done what I've done. And as an educator, I've been at Paris Union High School District for 21 years as an educator and given back to my community because that representation matters. When people see you in themselves and they know that they too can be something. And it's important to me to always share my story. So I was born to Francisco Tejeda and Rosario Barba. If you're familiar with Mexican history, there's La Masacre, the massacre of 1968, and that was when the university students of Mexico City, they stood up to what was going on, the policies and the procedures. My father was very active, and every year he mourns 1968. And my father is actually legally dead in Mexico because they thought that he was just stockpiled in this huge burial of students. And so he's kind of non-existent. He came to this country, a philosophy major in Mexico City, and came to this country as an immigrant and a janitor for a better life. My mother, Rosario Barba, was a farm worker, agricultural, and she shares with us that working in Corona, California, Mexicans could only swim on Friday afternoons because they would clean the pool as soon as they got out. And so this is my family, this is a tribute to my people, and this is what I carry with me every single day. Because my job is to be the spokesperson for my family and my ancestors who didn't have the opportunity. My grandmother, who was a seamstress, and government cheese doesn't melt and powdered milk is not good for you. But when you grow up on that, we have to change our narrative and provide support for others. I'm the youngest of 5 and the only girl, so I can take my hoops off rather quickly, if you know what that means. Don't test it. I have 2 of my assistant principals here. I even have a rubber band. The chola never goes away, right? I know. I almost didn't graduate from high school because relationships and mentors matter. And if you feel like you don't matter, you don't show up. Kids show up when they know you care. And they know what is wrong with you, and they check. And students will show up, even in higher ed, when they know that you care. If they think you don't care, there's no purpose to what we're doing. I'm the first to obtain a college degree. I'm a single mother to 3 amazing humans. Alexandra, she's 24, graduated from college in 3.5 years. Jacob is a freshman at Concordia University. I actually saw my son swim on ESPN, and I just cried because here's a single mother Chicana and her son is on TV. And my daughter Zelma, who's here with me today, who's my mini-me. I love you, Mihan. Thank you for all your support. So these are my kids. So I went to Catholic school. Like it is a lot of the narrative. When you come to a country, you usually go to private school because you want a strong foundation for your children. But in private school is where I learned, even though it was a Catholic school, that we were very poor. And if something went wrong, it was the Tejedas who did it. It was the Mexican kids who did something wrong. My parents would work bingo just to help pay for tuition because they wanted to give us the best education possible and best foundation. I graduated from Paris High School in 1995, and that's where I realized I was a first-generation Chicana. And I'll tell you about that identification was, I was never American, right? I had burritos for lunch, and I like Dia de los Muertos, and we celebrate Noche Buena, which is the 24th, and when Christmas, you just hang out and eat recalentado, or you eat leftovers. And so that's the culture, and you hang out with people, and they're like, oh, you do that? Yes, we do, and we sell tamales too, right? We do all kinds of things, and so I had someone who took care of me because there was a program in high school to keep low-income kids, those kids, off of the street, and I was those kids. Those of you that remember the JTPA program, it was grant-funded, and so at 15, I got a job for the city of Paris, and I was working in City Hall. I'm faking the funk. I was answering the phone like I knew what I was doing. I messed up all of my mother's high heels because I had to look older. Got my dresses from the swap meet, the best swap meet ever, and I had to play the part because in high school, I had to work to help support my family. Going to class where you did not matter wasn't a priority, but getting a paycheck was. I went to Mount San Jacinto, got my associate's degree, and then I came here to Cal State San Bernardino, and it was the scariest day of my life because I thought, do I even fit in here? Do I look like these people? Here I'm driving from Paris in a 1996 Ford Pony without AC, and I'm trying to fit in and trying to figure out my place. Received my bachelor's degree in Spanish and linguistics. During that time, I became a single mother, married, divorced. I'm a fast tracker. There's no time for that stuff. But I went to National University. I don't know if you want to put this, but that's where you pay a fee, you get a B. And I got my credential and my master's degree because I had to provide health insurance, and I had to provide something for my daughter, and I refused for her to be a statistic. She was not going to be the statistic of a mother who dropped out of college. And so I had to be everything I could for my daughter at the time. Came to Cal State San Bernardino and got my master's in administration. I came back home because I didn't like how I was treated as a teacher. And it was the Mean Girls Club. And to me, if you're not part of the solution, then you're the problem. And if you're not willing to make waves and make people uncomfortable, then you probably need to step away. Because we're in the business of kids. And you'll hear me say that I practice what I preach. We're in the business of kids. In K-12, that's what I do. And then I came back to Cal State San Bernardino and obtained my doctorate degree, cohort 9. Amazing. Thank you so much. Woo! And so a little bit about, going back is during high school, I had 3 jobs. So I worked at a clinic, I worked for an eye doctor, and I worked for the city. And if you ever watched In Living Color, and they said, Jamaica Ma, he had all the jobs, that was me, just an excellent Chicana version of that. And so after graduation, I graduated, and my mom said, Mija, I don't know how to get you to college. I can buy you a book if that's what you want to do, and that's all we can do for you. So she said, but go work at the elementary school. She worked in the cafeteria and said, people are always having babies. They will always need someone to work there. And so as my friends were going to the beach, I was crossing students, elementary school students. And my friends were partying and after graduation, and I had to work. And so I became a playground supervisor, a teacher's aide, a receptionist, and then I became permanent. Hold on. Became a bilingual clerk typist. Then I became a school secretary and a community liaison. All of this while I was going to school full time. And I was a single mom, and I'd work all day, and I'd come home and look at this baby and think, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? You cry, I cry, because I don't know why she's crying, she doesn't know why I'm crying. But we're gonna cry together, Then I got a job at the Paris Union High School District. My high school principal, I went up to him one day and said, hey, I need a job. And he said, what do you want to do? I said, I think I want to teach. So what do you want to teach? I said, I have my degree in Spanish. And he said, okay, I'll let me know. And he called me one day and said, hey, but when you could do that, he said, there's an opening. Do you want to come? And I was like, absolutely. And I cried when I made $46,000 a year. Made a copy of my paycheck, took it home. $46,000 a year, friends. I had 42 kids in class. If you know who Harry Wong is, he's non-existent, but he was supposed to teach me how to teach at that time. I also became an activities director, became an assistant principal and a principal. So, assistant principal, I always wanted to give back again to my alma mater, and if you know anything about high school administration, the first job you do is discipline. And I love those kids, those are my people, because I was that kid. So I did 3 years. I did the worst year of my life at a middle school because I am not a middle school person. And then I did a year and a half at Heritage High School. Midway into Heritage High School, I became their principal. And then I had the opportunity And this was our walk-around days, and I was so excited the kids were there, and that's when Cal State came to take pictures, and it's really not fake, because I have a fake smile, and if you know me, you know my smile. That was real. I have my Life Touch smile, where you're like, oh. That was a real smile. But you know, as a leader of a school, and when you're guiding people, you have to understand yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions, and your triggers. And the worst part is your trigger, and I hate being lied to. And whether you're a student, a parent, my kids, I will call you out quicker than you know what to do with it. And and I have to learn how to bring that in, right? So every day is a growing experience. I surround myself with people that will uplift me, guide me, and be real with me. And so I have two of my assistant principals here. We have cohort 6. Dr. Richardson is here with me today. My assistant principal, Mr. Munoz, came to support me today. How awesome is that on a Saturday, right? And I love them very much. To have honest and courageous conversations are crucial for success. Don't just tell me things I want to hear, because I'm never going to grow, and unfortunately, I will never tell you what you want to hear. And so you have to have the respect, and it has to be reciprocated in that manner. Listen to understand. You don't always need to be prescriptive. Sometimes you just need to be quiet and listen. And so I usually have a thumb ring, and I just rub it because I want to interrupt all the time and agree with you and help you. And I just have to listen to understand. Be an active listener, and you don't have to have all of the answers. And so lastly, I'd like to share with you that the work is a constant tribute to my ancestors. The fierce women who have paved the way for me to be who I am have guided me to where I am and drive where I am going. I, Doctora Erika Rosario Tejeda, am living their wildest dreams. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so a couple of things. Yes, and did the provost leave? If not, Vice President Nava, if you could join us here, we're going to offer some awards. Okay, so 3 years ago at our inaugural homecoming event, we started a tradition of awarding what we have come to be called the CSUSB EDD Alumni Transformational Change Award. Okay, so this award is to recognize our EDD alumni for their transformational work related to social justice, equity, and inclusion in the Inland Empire and surrounding communities. It is our way of recognizing our doctoral scholar practitioner leaders who have impacted our local communities by promoting, creating, sustaining practices, policies, and programs committed to equity, social justice, transformation, and inclusion. Okay, so why don't you join us come on stage, come right now. Okay, so our first awardee is the person we just heard from, okay? So Dr. Erika Tejeda, come up.
You want to take it out of the thing, make sure that's the one with her name.
Okay, so I want to say something here, and I'm glad that President Morales is here, and I hope our campus can make an exception. Okay, so I'm ashamed to say that, when did you graduate?
1995.
Okay.
Or high school.
No, for our doctoral.
2022.
Okay, so there was an issue that I just became aware of. I didn't know about this. That Dr. Erika Tejeda, I won't go into the formalities, but she was not allowed to walk. And so she's never been hooded. She never, she completed everything, but she was not allowed. Okay, so we're going to deal with that on Monday. This is the first time hearing of this, and I'm very ashamed that you all have to hear it under these circumstances, okay? So hopefully we can make an exception after so many years, and we can allow her, and we can hood her maybe in the spring, if that's okay. If you okay, all right? Okay. So, if you want to say anything, it's up to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
when I'm really trying not to cry, because I will cry, I'm a mess, but I'm very honored on multiple layers and multiple, I can't even speak, imagine that, I talk so much, right? I'm just honored and I'm blessed and I'm humbled to represent my people, to represent my ancestors and to pave the way for my daughters, my son, and the people who look like me. And I'm just floored. I didn't think my parents,
The ancestors are here.
I'm touched because I didn't think my parents would live to see me walk across the stage. And so thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for this too, it's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we can do it. Sí se puede. So maybe, there you go. So, Alejandro or I-12, you have a chance. Maybe in a little bit we can take some pictures with everybody. Okay. We have one more awardee. Okay. And for this one, I'm going to ask the person who nominated the next awardee. I'm going to ask La Doctora Olivia Rosas to come up here and read from her nomination.
Good afternoon, everyone. Like Dr. Murillo mentioned, I am Olivia Rosas, and I am cohort 9. Yay! And I am so privileged to be able to nominate and read the nomination for this outstanding leader. Okay, let me center myself. So Dr. Mahbouba Hamad is the epitome of a transformational change agent. As a proud Arab Latina, Dr. Hamad initiated and led the legislative initiative to establish the month of April as Arab American Heritage Month.
Yeah.
Her efforts with this initiative bring to the forefront the need to recognize the Arab American community both at the local and statewide levels. She received the inspirational Latinx Doctors in the Inland Empire Award by the Center for Educational Transformation at UC Riverside. So we definitely could not let that just slide. We had to honor her as well. Dr. Hamad currently serves as a faculty member in the College of Arts and Letters here at Cal State University, San Bernardino. She is a true researcher and educator at the intersection of language pedagogy, public health, and educational leadership, serving under many capacities, including instructor and director of multiple projects and national and international initiatives in public, educational, and nonprofit organizations. She has extensive experience in grant development, instruction, teacher training, assessment, and program administration, and has worked with students in the K-12 system. Dr. Hamad was named by the International Literacy Association in 2019 as one of 30 under 30 literacy leaders and visionaries creating positive change in the global literacy landscape. She was also honored in 2019 by Assembly member Eloise Gomez-Reyes as one of 30 under 30 individuals who exemplified education, innovation, and service in the 47th district in the Inland Empire. Most recently, Dr. Hamad was also named one of 40 under 40 rising Arab American leaders in the Arab American Foundation. Dr. Hamad is also a fundraiser and grant writer. She has been awarded over $1 million in grants from both the state and federal levels. The funding was aimed at national language teacher training programs with the focus of increasing those least commonly taught languages in the United States, thus opening a window into our diverse communities, languages, and cultures. Dr. Hamad has also secured funding to establish programs in the humanities that encourage civility and comedy among students in the K-12 system. Dr. Hamad, we're proud to present this award to you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and I'm very honored and humbled to have accepted this award. This is really not a recognition for myself only, but rather a recognition for all of our communities and everybody who has supported me and encouraged me to be here as an educator, as a leader within our communities. I am a former English language learner, an immigrant to this country. I learned to honor and be proud of my positionality, my intersecting identities, as nurtured here in the doctoral program at CSUSB. It was a time where I learned that it was okay to be proud and fierce about these identities. So I humbly and honorably say that as my intersecting identities, I'm an immigrant, English language learner, I'm an Arab, I'm a Latina, and I'm a Muslim person. And so in a time where it is very difficult to be or express or identify as all of these identities around the world and in our nation, I say that this is a great opportunity to represent these community members who do not have access to college education for one reason or another, especially if it comes to discrimination. So the reason why I fearlessly and fiercely pursued a recognition for the Arab American community at our state, and we're working at the national level, is because in order to increase our educational outcomes, we need to be recognized in the first place. We need to recognize that we as a community exist. And the next goal is that just as we have a Hispanic serving institution, just as we recognize African American, Latino, Asian students, that one day we'll also recognize Arab American students and cater to their needs from K-12 and universities and on. And so this wouldn't have been possible without the support from the doctoral team, my friends and family members, and community from elementary school. So thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right, so we're down to the end. Okay? Couple of things. We have prizes. Okay, so I introduce to you Candace and Stacy are going to come in here. They're going to be in charge of the prizes. We got Cody the Coyote supposed to be here. So take pictures with Cody. And Aitwa, raise your hand again, Aitwa. So any current student or a graduate, please, if you're able to, go see Aitwa, and he just wants to capture just a few minutes of testimonial. Okay? Aitwa. Thank you.
I already pulled him. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed yourself and enjoyed the food and the accommodations that we had for you today. We have 2 tickets that I've already pulled, and so go ahead and pull those tickets out for the members. I'll try really hard. So the first number is 637037. 637037.
Woo!
The second number is 637013. Thank you for joining us.
MC left, apparently. I'm the MC now. Hi.